Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live, talk radio without the static. Email your questions and comments to Lynn at pghcitypaper.com. And now your host, Lynn Cullen.
Yeah, here I am. Thank you very much for joining me. It's the 14th of the 9th month, September 2021, and it's a Tuesday, so Suze should be there. Hello? Hello? Jeez. Slightly slow on the uptake there. Hello?
Hello, I made it.
Yeah, you did. I know. I mean, I feel the same way. I was staring at something too, and almost forgot that I was doing the show.
I got involved in another thing that was, yet again irritating me. I'm reading about
irritating.
I'm reading about how this woman that helped these two men design Pinterest, which is fundamentally a woman's site, designed by women for women. Design things and pin things that they want to shop for. Well, this woman with her husband's best friend and another guy sat around and did this thing, and there was no written contract. I mean, she just assumed that if ever made money, she'd make money along with the other two. Then the other two guys take it public. They make billions of dollars, and she doesn't get a penny.
Right. That's in the New York Times business section today. Again, how a woman who did the work is given no credit, monetary or otherwise. Right. So is she suing him?
Oh yeah, she's suing him. But as usual, I'm reading the comments, and there's all these men going, "There is no contract. Too bad, lady." And I'm going, at what point do men think that it's cool to steal women's ideas, profit off them, be outed as stealing the ideas, and still think it's clever and cute? It's not clever and cute. You're thieves.
All right.
Well, you ideas, without your own talent, you steal it, you become billionaires, and then the woman has to sue. Yeah, it makes me mad. Because
I can tell.
It's constant. Yeah. And then you read the article and you find out that she wasn't the only one. Any poor woman that worked there was cheated, abused, and there's complaints all over the place. And this is a site that is designed for women. Yeah, it's appalling. And I'm really getting tired of story after story after story. I mean, man, don't you get embarrassed? I mean, really.
And again, the site you're talking about is Pinterest, which I never understood what it was. But
anyway, that's why I went. And then I looked and went, shit, I quit called you.
Okay, so you were, I mean, I was looking at it as well, although I didn't read it because I knew it would piss me off. And I have enough things to be upset about.
I was just scanning through a good old fraternity boy who steals the fraternity's money to buy his house in Washington, D.C. I mean, another guy just going, please.
There's just awful. People behaving badly is just,
these are rich people crimes. These are rich people it's just the most base, disgusting stuff. I don't get it.
Well, I was reading, speaking of rich people stuff, something from ProPublica. This is what had me. And it's headlined "The Secret IRS Files." It's never before seen records reveal how the wealthiest avoid income tax. And, it's nothing that you don't know, but seeing actual numbers. And the funny thing is that the avuncular grandfatherly Warren Buffett, who has made a point of saying that his secretary pays a higher tax rate than he does, and how that's just wrong. And so he's come out saying, the rich need to pay more. And then it shows that this is for he reported $125 million in income. This particular, I'm not sure what year this is. And he paid $23 million in taxes. His wealth growth was $24 billion. His true tax rate, they say, is 0.1%.
Well, they're counting his. Wait a minute. Okay.
The wealth.
Okay. I mean, they're taking his. They're taking it as a percentage of the total wealth gain, which means if all of anybody had stock in any given year that they had a gain but didn't cash in, it's still there.
Which they don't pay.
We don't pay taxes on that.
Okay, his wealth growth. His wealth growth that year was $24+ billion. He paid in taxes $23 million, which is 0.1%.
I'm saying that. That's fine. I give you that. Except wait a minute. The problem with the argument is none of us pay taxes on the wealth growth. So that's a stupid comparison. You might say we should pay taxes on the wealth growth, but he's not avoiding taxes on that growth that any of us.
No, I know, but they're saying I know, but regular people don't have wealth growth. They get a friggin' paycheck and they live paycheck to paycheck. They don't have a wealth growth. Oh, speaking of that, I heard something last night that so cracked me up. But this is the people who got the money. I have a friend who's got some money, and he went to a new financial advisor kind of person. And the financial advisor person was asking him questions that rich people get asked, like, what is it? What are your goals? What do you want? Do you want to make more money, or do you want to preserve what you have? Do you want to be conservative, cautious? Do you want to start giving it away? Do you want this, that, and the other? And he starts thinking, gosh, I don't know. And so his new financial advisor says, I am going to suggest that you speak with our wealth therapist.
Oh, yeah. I know some of those. And let me tell you, the first one I know is such a crackpot. She's a therapist, and all she's trying to figure out is how to get
money.
And that's the therapy. It's for her. It's my wealth therapy. I'm going to rip you off.
Well, so the wealth therapist, did come to his house, and he's had more than one session with her. He's enjoying it immensely. But it makes me puke.
Well, calling it that is disgusting. I mean, it's not therapy. It's helping you understand what your goals are and how to.
That is a kind of therapy. That is a kind of therapy.
Right. And it also, in its biggest form, is a way for families to emerge from estate fights as one, or for families generationally to go from generation to generation and remain intact as a family so that they don't fight over all of this wealth. I mean, it's just...
money.
It's like the Pritzker family in Chicago, the Hyatt people, the Governor Pritzker. All of these people have more money than any one of them could ever use, and yet they sue each other because one cousin got more.
Yeah, but that is what happens, and it happens even when people don't have much money, and over someone's estate, when somebody dies and it's not anywhere near Pritzker wealth. And it's just, People. Honest to God. So let's stop talking about it. I hate money. You know I do. I hate it, but I'm happily,
Well, I've been ensconced and I've been watching the tax law debates, and because as people may or may not know, way back in the day, tax law is pretty much what I practice because it's sort of fun. I know that sounds stupid, but it's just like a big puzzle, and you got to find your way through the maze as a lawyer. And if you lose, all that happens is some rich guy doesn't, has to pay some money, and I can feel bad about it, which is, probably not a great attitude for a tax attorney, and why I don't still do it. But it's an actually fun kind of law to practice.
Well, it wouldn't be for me. It would be for you. It isn't for me. God knows. Okay, so the great news today, and I've been having trouble finding good news, is that another loathsome right-wing radio host is dead.
Which one died this time from COVID?
Some guy in Colorado. Let's see. He was particularly loathsome. His name was Bob Enyart, and he died of COVID, and he ran a boycott of vaccinations. He urged his listeners to avoid the vaccines. And listen
I'm
to
sorry,
what
we should not be laughing at his death. But
I don't go to hell with him. Listen to karma is big time. He told his listeners to boycott COVID vaccines, quote, to further increase social tension and put pressure on the child killers.
Well, can we just
don't
say that the child killers are
the ones who I understand, but he's thinking, of course, of something else. He also has called for the death penalty for women who get abortions, and he used to during the AIDS crisis. He used to celebrate the death of every AIDS victim.
Okay, well then let's celebrate.
That's right.
To the passing of this loathsome human being. I'm raising my glass as we speak.
No, he's absolutely true. So he's now dead, and he used to celebrate the death from AIDS while he played "And Another One Bites the Dust." So I'm just saying.
Well, I was thinking about this the other day, that as these right-wing radio hosts bite the dust one by one, and thinking about your professional career wherein your radio stations were bought out one after another because you were there.
I wasn't. I was there.
Well, no, but it just began to feel after a time like wherever you were, that station was going to get bought up and you were going to get silenced. And I mean, after 5 or 6, you begin to feel like there's a
wonder.
That you begin to wonder. And I was just thinking, it took a little while, but God, if there is a God, got around to taking care of each one of those people that sought to replace my sister.
Well, nah, I think I only got. It was only 3, Susan. It wasn't 6 or 7.
Well, that's a lot.
Okay, all right, it's a lot. So, also, Ed just sent me this, and I had seen. He says that in the same vein, one of Israel's top anti-vaccination activists, I didn't know they had the same kind of nonsense going there. The last message he put out was for his followers to keep fighting against the shot. And he's now dead of COVID. Isn't that
it really is amazing to me that these people can't notice that the people that aren't vaccinating are dropping dead. I mean, How do you not notice
I don't know.
this?
I don't know. It's beyond me. It's magic. Well, they engage in a lot of magical thinking, and the magical thinking is it ain't going to happen to me, I guess.
Well, it's it's a terrible thing to say, but it's Darwinism at work.
Yeah, it is. It feels that way. And speaking of Darwinism at work, see, I'm the segue queen today. Hang on.
Segue queen. Okay.
Science section. This is about a company called Colossal, headed by a Harvard medical school biologist.
What is it for colonoscopies?
No.
Oh, you just said colossal.
Because from colossal. I didn't say colon. No. It's colossal as in woolly mammoth.
Oh, they're big.
And yes, they're very big. They're colossal. And this is a company that intends and is actively working toward.
Oh, I'm birthing
reintroducing them.
Alive. Yeah.
Reintroducing them to Siberia. And when I saw the headline, which was a company aims to restock the woolly mammoth, my only reaction was, Jesus, don't. I mean, this kind of, again, playing God. It is an extinct species.
Can I help you out here? Siberia will be too warm it'll be
well,
too warm.
Well, I absolutely agree. They think, though, the woolly mammoth can help that. It gets very, yes, of course, it's too hot now. But they are moving forward, and they hope to produce embryos within 2 years.
What, they're going to stick them in an elephant or something?
Yeah, well, they do have to use elephants because elephants are the closest species. But they can't have an elephant actually carry the embryo because they already figured that you'd have to do, this in vitro stuff and harvesting. And Susan, stop it.
Sorry. I'm just I'm just getting a glass of water. I'm sorry.
Jesus.
Well, it's better than coughing.
Well, yeah, but you can put your, whatever. Anyway.
I could put my phone on mute. Yes, I could. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Okay. So obviously Asian elephants and woolly mammoths have a common ancestor. So they're going to use Asian elephants, but they can't figure the way that the elephants would carry the fetus. And so they are making a huge, colossal, artificial mammoth uterus.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And this will be essentially they're lining this contraption with tissue from uterine tissue and grown from stem cells, and they're going to put some poor little developing egg they've fiddled with in there. Now, you know how long it takes to make a mammoth in utero?
2 years?
2 years. Yeah, 2 years. So for 2 years in this artificial thing, this little baby mammoth is going to be developing, and it reaches a weight of 200 pounds. And here's my thing with science always, these scientists. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Well, that's the ethics part of science.
Well, but why don't they? Because there are so many ethical issues here that the mind spins. One. So this little baby mammoth resurrected from extinction, enters a world with no mother. And think of what you know about elephants. They are extremely social. The bond between a baby elephant and a mother is extraordinarily strong because those babies need their mothers for a long, long time. This poor thing, this manufactured, again, this is someone's friggin' ego creates this living thing. And it could suffer. I mean, really suffer. There are so many questions that it raises. Is it humane? I say no. Who decides where this thing, and then are you going to make more, and where will they live, and how do they even know how to live, and what happens if they reproduce entire populations in a place that is no longer hospitable to them? This is nuts. This is people playing God. There's not something better they could do?
Well, they got, curing cancer is just so last year.
Yeah.
Poor little woolly mammoth.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, think of it.
Have you seen that? You made me think when you said that they were creating a uterus. Have you seen that ridiculous commercial on TV that is a woman in a pink robe sitting in a pink bedroom claiming that she was her uterus?
No. This is a what? A commercial?
It's a commercial for non-hormonal birth control, but it's extremely weird.
Well, I saw a picture of, I forget what starlet or celebrity wearing a dress that was clearly designed to have her look like a giant uterus. I mean, it was, amazing. Anyway, I just find this so outrageous. And if this works and they put them out there, they put them in wherever they put them, they will alter. They will not be. They will be an invasive species no matter where they're put because they're whatever's already there doesn't know from woolly mammoths.
Right. The world's gone on.
Oh, God. This just makes me nuts. And the aim of Colossal is to put thousands of woolly mammoths back on the Siberian tundra, even as you noted. It bears no resemblance to the Siberian tundra that their now long dead ancestors roamed. The tundra at that point was a grassland, and it's not grasslands anymore. Unbelievable. I am so done with humans. I'm going to hang out with dogs. Dogs are so much better than human beings, and their company is preferable.
I agree, and mine's like totally weird, and I even agree with him.
You agree with, you've got a slightly, definitely on the spectrum dog, and he still is better than hanging out with a human.
Well, he is. He comes up and he lays his cheek against my cheek and puts his paw up on my shoulder and draws me close for a hug. And he means it more than 90% of the humans that give me a hug.
Yeah. No, I know. It is true. So, anyway, what else do I got here? This is not a story that.
Yeah, go ahead. I was going to say, did you tune into the increasingly Who Gives a Damn Met Gala last night?
No, I did not, but I have looked at some of the outfits today, Yeah, well, it's a fundraiser, right? So what
It
you
is.
got anything?
No, I was just sitting there thinking, in this world today, with all of this going on, these stars, who have all this, and these designers get together for this fun night, and I'm just going, for what? I mean, what good does it do? What? Who benefits? What's it? And then I just started looking at the pictures, and I ended up completely just fascinated by everybody's fingernails, male and female.
Really?
They're all done. Males and females, they're all done in colors. Female nails, now that men have taken over wearing nail polish, female nails are getting scarier and scarier. They're getting long and pointed. They look like, like, oh my God, don't touch me with one of those things. My skin,
I know. How would anyone want those? How do you even function? Well, I guess these people, it's like,
you use your knuckles.
When you were in I remember once looking in, was just astonishment. This is years ago, as I was being checked out of the grocery aisle back in the day when somebody actually checked you out. And this woman had nails at like 20 feet long. I mean, they were curling. It was disgusting. They were like, they'd go on out and then curling and this thing and that. And I thought, how the hell is she supposed to punch? She curled up her talons and used her. But this is nuts. It's like sort of, it reminded me of like foot binding.
Right.
They did in China, right?
Hobbling yourself, right?
Yes, it is totally making your body incapable of functioning like it is intended to. Anyway, we have a call. Okay. So we head to the phones. Hello?
What's the big deal about bringing back the woolly mammoth? I mean, we brought back the Neanderthal, didn't we?
The Neanderthal never really left. Is what happened. Have you ever had your DNA done? Because I have Neanderthal.
And she's got more Neanderthal than I have.
I do, even though we're sisters.
I like to point that out. She's got more.
I like it. I think. Listen, I think Neanderthals were better than Homo sapiens, and the reason they lost the battle is because Homo sapiens is a nasty mean creature. Yeah, and I have a feeling that Neanderthal is a gentler hominid. That's what I think. The wrong guys won, as usual.
Well, it's coming around, maybe. I mean, this jerk that you were just talking about who just died of AIDS after all the stupid horse shit he's been promoting.
No, he died of COVID.
30 years.
Yeah.
COVID. So, with guys like him and DeSantis, I'm sure that crowd believes they're all going to heaven, and if that's the case, I'm glad I'm not going. Shit. I mean,
I know. You want to?
Who'd want to be in heaven if those people are there? Hey,
they're not going to heaven. There's no way.
I ran into a friend. We were walking dogs yesterday. I ran into a friend yesterday, and somehow she got on the topic of like she isn't vaccinated yet. And she's like, I just don't know. And I'm like, well, I said, Debbie, I'm like, I got the vaccination, and after the second one, I was down for a day. But after all the crap our veterans have been through for the past 20 years, the least I could do, and it's part of my contribution. It's my duty. She didn't have
did that sway her? Did that sway her?
It shut her up.
Shut her up for a second. Well, I have zero patience for these people. Zero. I'm done with them. Finished. That's it. They can all drop dead as far as I'm concerned. Their ignorance and outrageous selfishness is just mind-boggling.
Well, and at this point,
they're killing people.
They're trying to kill my grandchildren, and
they're killing people. Yeah.
Wait, they're pro-life. What are you talking about?
No, yeah. Well, you just next time you see her, tell her, fuck you. That's from me, okay?
Hey,
it doesn't have to be from you.
Lynn told me.
Yeah, that's what I want you to
Lynn
say.
just want to send you this message.
Fuck you. Okay? There. We did it.
Okay.
Thank you. All right.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Boy, Susan.
Sending it
Yeah.
out to you.
Okay, I came across this a while ago, and I am so flummoxed. And it occurs to me that you can maybe, let me see how you react to this. A Michigan man has won his battle to be compensated for the porn collection his parents threw away. Now,
Oh, well, I'm really interested because I got a long list of things that I'd like to sue Mother about for throwing away.
yeah, I know, because we had a mother who threw everything that belonged to us away. You couldn't find a thing that suggests we even were children who lived.
No, and I mean these were like,
well, there are a few,
like formals that I
right.
would draw, and and our grandmother would just make for me. You know, these were one of the
they're gone,
and they're gone.
Right? No, I know. So, but this is a little different. Okay, so he succeeded in his suit. His parents threw his porn collection away. He is now 43 years old. Now, listen to this. He sued his parents 2 years ago for destroying 14 boxes of porn and sex toys that he had while he was living with them. So, wait, he's then in his 40s and he's living with his parents and his porn in their house.
Toys.
Yes, and his sex toys.
Well, they can countersue.
And his father, when he did it, said, I did you a favor, a big favor, by tossing that disgusting stuff out. Now, here's the question. These parents have got to compensate him $30,441.
They won? He won?
He won!
Well, they need to countersue for room and board and
the parents. How did that? Well, how wouldn't that have been part of the suit? How does he get to camp in their house? And
well,
I mean,
they need a new lawyer.
It's over. They have to pay him $30,400 for his sex toys and porn. Can you imagine?
No. Where is
they have to pay? Now, I don't know. It just says Michigan. They have to pay $15,000 in legal costs.
Oh, yeah, because they lost. Yeah.
Okay, so that's almost $46,000. They're out.
Oh, good. No more than that. They're out that, and they lost a son, and he lost parents. Isn't that lovely?
Well, you're assuming that, but I assume so.
Well, I wouldn't talk to the creep again, would you? I mean, I wouldn't have wanted to talk to him. You know, I would have picked him up, gingerly with gloves and put him outside the front door a long time ago. But
why gingerly?
Well, because God only knows.
All right. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, we're having such an uplifting day today. Okay, get the call.
No, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Okay, who has ventured in? Hello?
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Hey, Lynn. You were talking.
Yeah.
Your sister's talking about grandchildren. My 12-year-old grandson has COVID.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and his mom and dad, our son, they don't have the vaccine.
Daughter-in-law. They never got vaccinated. So
they're Trumpers. And he's mad at the school for not communicating. And I told my wife, I said, I don't say nothing, but look in the mirror. It's you and all the other people out there that caused your son to get vaccine or the COVID.
Right.
It's just really, what could you do? And hopefully, it seems like he's going to be all right, but I don't know. I just shake my head. And
so he's obviously he's in their house with COVID.
They're in lockdown.
Yeah.
She has a daughter, and then there's my son and my son.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you think that the odds are pretty good that they'll all get it? How long has that been going on?
And in Beaver School District here in Beaver County, I don't know, the 60 of the staff and students, I don't know if they have it, but they've been exposed to it or have it. So they're shutting down that section of the school.
They're shutting down the school.
Yeah. For only a week. I said, well, I don't know. But,
yeah, there are schools. There's a school in the Woodland Hills district that has been shut down. And yes, the one you're talking about. And we'll, out there in Trump country, I'm betting all these schools will end up being shut down.
Yeah, it's
unbelievable
tough living in this area. It's tough even living in Pennsylvania more. It's Kentuckyvania or whatever you call it. They have names for it because we're close to Ohio and West Virginia. Yes, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Or
Pennsylvania.
Kentucky, I call it. Whatever. But anyway, we live close to Ohio and West Virginia, so we have all those fools coming. I ain't kidding. No mask, no nothing. They come over to our local Walmart, and it's. I said I'd like to move out of here completely and find a Democratic state, but I don't know.
Well, move into the city.
Huh?
Yeah. No. Yeah. You are where you are. So whatever. No, we're surrounded by fucking fools. Well, I hope your grandson mends quickly, but
it's unbelievable. What can you say?
It's unbelievable. I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Damn.
So it's crazy, and the fact that, and it is amazing to me that the correlation between people who would be screaming that that abortion is murder and are the same people that are actively working to kill their own children, and I don't get it.
But they don't get it. They obviously don't get it. They're incapable of connecting dots. I don't know. They don't get it.
It becomes deliberate. It's deliberate ignorance after a point. Everything they need to know is here for them. They choose not to know. And I don't excuse that. And, the reading of the country's mood about this is right. And about 60% of us are getting very angry at the other 30% of us because our lives are impacted by these buffoons. It's enough already.
Well, more than enough already.
I mean, can you imagine? Everybody in this country would have been on iron lungs if this group had been around during polio.
You know what's odd? I saw that, the Mississippi, the state of Mississippi, how the hell this happened, I don't know. They have some of the least forgiving vaccine mandates regarding childhood vaccination than anybody. They have no religious exemption. They got, in Mississippi, they got nothing. You get effing vaccinated or your kid's not in school. And then COVID. So how can a state that it has that kind of a mandate for every other vaccination?
Because they unlearned what they used to know.
No, well, I think it's because they don't want to give a Democratic president a win. They want him to be brought down.
It gives a whole new meaning to I'd rather die.
Yeah, I'd rather die. And in fact, the co-host,
perhaps we ought to educate these people. That's an expression. You aren't supposed to really mean it.
Yeah. Well, the co-host of the most recent deceased right-wing radio host is quoted as saying, he was one of the most brilliant, wonderful human beings I ever knew. And I'm sure that if he could, do it all over again, he would do the exact same thing. So his co-host said he would die. Yeah. he would go down dying. He for the fight. And it's a political
rather than admit
they're
that
willing
he was
to die.
A stupid idiot and he was wrong. He would prefer to die. Well, I've been saying this about Trumpers for a long time. At a certain point, having swallowed so much guff, the humiliation of admitting how you were used and conned is overwhelming, and you just refuse.
I guess. So you have to dig in.
You have to dig in, because otherwise you have to admit what a total putz you were.
Idiot. Yeah, right. Well, hey, so today is where Gavin Newsom is, facing the recall. And
yeah, I'm rooting for Kendall Jenner, aren't you? Or what's her name? Yeah,
not Kendall.
Like Caitlin. I can't get all these K's straight.
Really? Is that the name? Is it
Caitlin
Jenner?
Yeah.
Screw them all. All right, so I have a something that I want to talk about, which is, if you're not mad already, you'll get mad. It's something else to be mad about, guys.
Well, you have to take your anger with a spoonful of laughter. Go ahead.
Yeah. Not that, there is no dearth of things to be agitated about and freaked about. But there was an article in the New York Times, I don't know when, Sunday maybe, that I read. It was a long article that so blew me away. This is an investigative piece, and it has to do with, it's a part of our wondrous healthcare system in this country. So, we're slogging into nightmare territory here, even though you don't know where exactly, what corner I'm going into. But I'm going into nursing homes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Where we warehouse our elderly now. And the investigation shows, well, here, I'm just going to give you one stat that came out of this. In the last 9 years or 8 years, the number of nursing home residents in this country diagnosed with schizophrenia has increased by 70%. And they got that number because Medicare keeps track. 70% diagnoses for schizophrenia. Now, what strikes you as odd about that? First of all, schizophrenia is one of those diseases that when it manifests itself, it manifests at what age, Susan?
Usually late 20s, early 20s.
Yeah, or early 20s to late. It's in your 20s. Maybe a little
20s,
teenage to 20.
Yeah.
It is a disease that comes on at that point. So the people who are being diagnosed as schizophrenic in nursing homes are way, way beyond that. But all of a sudden, they're getting a diagnosis of schizophrenia. So here, 1 in 9 residents of nursing homes in this country has the diagnosis. 1 in 9. What is the rate of schizophrenia in the general population?
Oh.
1 in 150.
Right. I was going to say 1 in 100, somewhere in there. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 in 150 people have schizophrenia.
And it doesn't occur to them that dementia might, mimic the signs.
They don't even give a damn, it turns out. 1 in 9. And if they do the diagnosis of schizophrenia for one reason and one reason only.
Oh, they get
so
to
they get to put
charge.
them in medicinal straitjackets.
Oh,
so
no,
you got
them into,
they're drugging them into oblivion. Haldo. It's an antipsychotic medicine that they are giving to this country's grandparents and parents and old people that are stuck in these homes who may be crotchety or maybe a bother. The way you deal with them is you medically straitjacket them. You make them drooling zombies. And this is cheaper than hiring more staff to deal with them.
Of course.
So this investigative piece is such a condemnation of nursing homes, of us, of the pharmaceutical industry, which openly pushes this kind of thing, off, label uses of their drugs. And up to 1 in 5 nursing home residents are on some kind of antipsychotic medication. Now that's ridiculous because dementia is not psychosis.
No. And you see, the problem is where are the families? Why aren't they asking? Why aren't they? First of all, where are the questions?
Well, believe me, there are families involved in these things, and they get asked questions and pushed away. You know what? For the last 2 years, the families have not been able to get into these places, right?
Yeah.
And you would think that, this is happening at like really poor, badly run places. But no, they're finding that nursing homes with the highest ranking, 5-star ranking, I guess this is something that the Department of Health and Human Services does, so that when you're looking for a nursing home to put someone you care about in, you check how highly ranked it is. So there's this one facility, which is a 5-star, beautiful place, and 31% of their residents were found to be drugged to the hilt. A third.
Oh my God. I mean,
so
okay.
It's so the government starts noticing this, that Haldol is being given out, but left, right, and center, and so they try to limit the use, and now it has to be reported how many are on Haldol, and so what happens?
They switch the drug.
They find a drug that is technically, it's not an antipsychotic. You have to report antipsychotics that you're giving to these people. So then they find a drug that is an epilepsy drug. It's called Depakote. And man, the company that makes Depakote, which happens to be Abbott Labs, started pitching this epilepsy drug as a way to sidestep the law that these nursing homes could not use drugs as chemical restraints, essentially, straitjackets. So there's a lot of people now in nursing homes that are getting this drug. They don't have epilepsy.
You know what really gets me angry? If they want to keep these people calm, 10 milligrams of edible indica, marijuana, THC, would do exactly the same thing, and those people would not be comatose. They'd just be calm and happy. I mean, there might be a certain amount of agitation that they're dealing with and all that stuff, but that's exactly what THC of certain strains treats without gorking out people. I mean, why not just kill them?
Yeah. Well, they are killing them because this does kill them. They get so drugged that they don't eat. They don't move around. there's just unbelievably
well, so
sad,
now that tells you that the next question you have to ask when you're, for those of you who really are faced with having no choice, but because of the level of care needed, but to put a family member in a nursing home, you have to ask for that statistic. How many diagnoses of schizophrenia do you have here? Don't ask them how they're treated.
And how do you know? And how do you know if you're being told the truth? How do you know?
Well, then I'd start walking around and seeing how many gorked out people I saw. It's really ugh. The bottom line is always that no matter where you put a loved one, it is always your primary responsibility to make sure their care is appropriate and to be on top of it every step of the way. Because the default position of a nursing home is to keep everybody calm and quiet and to need the least work possible. That's exactly right. It's hard to attract help. Now there are COVID mandates. They can't get help. It's an issue.
Well, it's the fact that nursing home,
the fact that we don't pay people. We don't pay people.
That's right.
According to the difficulty of their work. So
their nursing home employment, in fact, is down more than 200,000 jobs since early last year. Its staffing is at its lowest level since 1994, even as the population ages. And it's because these horrifyingly god-awful companies that own these things don't pay people enough to do the hard work.
And when you figure out how much those places are extraordinarily expensive because they're charging you for full-time, for those employees, but then they are not providing them or paying them properly. That they haven't dropped what they're charging. They're just skimming off all those profits. It's an extraordinarily
profitable. Oh, yeah. As they take every last red cent of these people's money. I mean, anyone who's been through this particular nightmare dance of putting a loved one in a nursing home knows. I mean, I have friends who you can't even bring this subject up without them just becoming insane, just crazed. And here's the thing, in this whole big investigation that is just so horrifying. If a nursing home is found to have violated the rules, what happens to them?
Oh, somebody shrugs their shoulders really angrily.
That's right. Yeah, nothing. Pretty much nothing. Homes that violate rules face few consequences.
I mean, it should be mammoth monetary fines. I mean, and then they should be, and then if it's found to be in that situation, they should be open to lawsuits by the people that have been inappropriately drugged. And who the F are the doctors that are saying they're all schizophrenic?
Well, Suze, here, I'll read you the second paragraph of this long story. The handwritten doctor's order was just 8 words long, but it solved a problem for Dundee Manor, a nursing home in South Carolina. The patient was a 63-year-old with dementia, and he was agitated. So the doctor wrote, they've got it in writing, add diagnosis of schizophrenia for use of Haldol. And this guy was on his way to being dead. His widow is suing. So his particular story plays out. He never had schizophrenia. So the doctor who wrote that shouldn't have a license because there's got to be doctors left, right, and center doing this.
Well, of course.
Well, how do they have licenses?
Well, because no one sues them and nobody makes a complaint to the medical authorities and nobody drums them out. And they're just like every other doctor or human being that seems to think that money is more important than everything else, and I'm going to get me as much as I can. You are describing a situation where people are handing over their beloved parents to rapacious people, all of whom are going to try and steal everything from them while they're trying to sort of keep the person alive without any trouble for as long as they can so they can fleece you, but not have to actually give any care. Every single one. The doctor, you should go after the doctor that writes that script, and every single doctor should be called upon to justify the schizophrenia thing. And it's just appalling to me.
Yeah.
And it is. It's agitated dementia. And why you can't put down agitated dementia, and that's what THC, which costs nothing and is a weed that nobody has to produce. That's why they don't give that, because that would be inexpensive.
Well, somebody does have to produce it, but
someone has to produce it. But I'm just telling you,
it's a naturally growing substance. Yes,
and it is one of the more effective treatments for agitation in dementia.
Yeah. So the kind of if they don't say schizophrenia, they're also saying Huntington's disease, Tourette syndrome. They have all these things that they can put down.
Oh yeah, because people get Tourette when they're 80. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So it says these diagnoses rose even as nursing homes were reporting a decline in the behaviors associated with schizophrenia. For instance, the number of residents experiencing delusions has fallen regularly, and that would be a schizophrenic, perhaps.
Right.
It is, and there's no oversight. We have the most screwed up healthcare in this country.
Well, that's because it's all for profit.
Exactly right.
We have built the profit incentive into every single step, and doing that creates more steps.
I got to tell you, when you look at this country and the promise it had, and you look at where we've ended up, I think at the very top of what's sent us down the wrong path is our worship of capitalism, and that everything
capitalism. The thought that
unregulated capitalism, that everybody gets to make a buck on everything, and that value is all about money, not about quality of life, not about anything else. Money, 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 money. And that's what capitalism teaches you. And this country is, even as capitalism rises, this country's going down. The best parts of this country are going down. Capitalism creates selfishness, the kind of selfishness we see. The kind of me, and only me. It's just, we made our bed and, man, we are lying in it. Yep. Well, okay, that was depressing.
I was going to say the same thing. Nice way to end the show.
Listen, what can I do? I
don't know.
Read
but,
a ton.
When
I can't.
Yeah.
Don't you think people should know about this? I mean, if I had someone,
and I think anybody that's got anybody that is, disappearing in front of their eyes, they should ask this question.
You demand to see anyone who's got anyone in a nursing home. You demand to see the meds they are taking, and that new one they're doing, the epilepsy drug. It can be crumbled up and just stuck on someone's food, and no one would know. And that the pharmaceutical company, that Abbott, would openly be telling nursing homes, their sales reps go into these homes and say,
That. Do you know how many? That's the first job out of college for 50% of the young people.
Yeah.
Is a drug company representative.
I know, it's a bad job.
And I mean, and all those commercials on TV, so that people ask for drugs they don't need.
Yeah, that they don't need.
I mean, the day that we decided that people should be drugs should be advertised, that as if you could go and buy them yourself, you can't.
You know what? And people from other countries who come here and they see they're watching TV, they can't believe what they're seeing. But that's, again, part of our healthcare system. It's all capitalist. It's sell people stuff. Make them want it. Market it. It has nothing to do with your well-being.
Well, and we've had this conversation, like the pre-alopecia, the pre-osteoporosis stuff, which says
medicalize that you're getting older. Right. So osteopenia. I remember when I was told you have osteopenia. Right. And I said, oh my God, what's that? Well, your bones are starting to, lose density. And it turns out, I was in my 60s and your bones lose density. It's not a disease. It's called normal aging.
But what they want to do is put you on a drug.
No, but they medicated. They started putting me on. Yeah. No, that's right. They put me on meds. I stopped taking them after a year when I saw these reports that people's jaws were falling out. I have a friend who had to have a rod stuck in her leg because her thigh bone went. The drugs were actually hurting. I mean, those drugs are still.
They're still telling women that they have this disease called "you're about to get something," and we should treat it.
Oh, God, it makes you insane.
No, you really got to be your own advocate, people. You got to be your own advocate. You got to ask questions. And if your doctor gets mad, too bad.
Fuck them. Yeah. Okay, well, on that note, we've told a lot of people to get fucked today, but what the hell?
I know. We're bad. I'm sorry.
We're bad, and I'm sorry, too. And kind of. Okay?
Hi.
Susan, thank you. Are you driving up to Green Bay?
I am. I'm going to go pack right now and hop in the car and go be with Mom for the Jewish holiday.
Okay, good. Good.
Yeah. Okay.
Good for you.
Have an easy fast.
Okay.
Don't.
Yeah, an easy fast. There's no such thing as an easy fast.
Okay.
Bye. Goodbye. Bye. All right, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. And then no show on Thursday because that's when I'm doing my not easy fast. Okay, that's Yom Kippur. All right? Stay cool. Bye.
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper or its advertisers.